You know, this tradition was started a couple of years ago by Alan Lacombe, and what he did was invite people to take a shot at picking the Kentucky Derby first, second, third, and last. And if you did do that successfully, you would win $1,000 and a steak dinner. If you picked the Kentucky Derby first, second, and third, you would get a steak dinner. Look around you. Do you see anybody eating steak today? Everybody's eating red beans and rice, but this will be a lot of fun. We've got a lot to cover. We're going to take a look at a rerun of the Kentucky Oaks. Prospector's Delight, who won the Fairgrounds Oaks, ran a very big race in the Oaks. He finished third in the Kentucky Oaks. We'll take a look at that. But before we do, I want to introduce to you Miss Vicki Krantz, who is going to say just a couple of words. And later on, we're going to hear from our guest speaker, Mr. Tom Amos, who was the leading trainer here at the Fairgrounds for the second consecutive year. We'll talk with Tom in just a little bit. But before we do, let me introduce you to Miss Vicki Krantz.
Thanks, Rick. I just want to thank everyone. I just want to thank everyone for coming out today. We're trying to carry on the tradition of Alan Lacombe, and it's real important. We're going to try to do it every year, and we really want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting it today and turning in your ballots. Brian was unable to be here today, but he wanted to tell everyone to thank everyone for coming, and we hope to see y'all this fairground season. Thank you.
And the first award, T-shirt, goes to Isabel Pasantes of Catering. She picked Lily T to win. Isabel, to find out the reason why people pick certain horses. Any reason why?
My sister calls me EP, so I picked ET.
Thank you very much. I tell you, that's about as good a reason as I've ever heard. Okay, also picking Lily T to win from the general office here at the Fairgrounds, Margaret Osterley. Margaret, are you here? Okay, why?
Well, because Pat Day was on it, and I don't know how to read a racing form, and I saw the past performances being 1, 1, 1, 2. I said, hey, it looks good. So I picked it.
All right. At least, Margaret, at least you took a look at the racing form, so that's good reason. Okay, the only other person, and thank God we had a man who picked Lily T from the Times-Picayune, Bob Christ. Bob, are you here? Yeah. Now, Bob, did you get any information from, like, Bob Rossler or Bob Fortas?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't have had the winner. No, just kidding. No, I had my money on Pine Bluff, which is typical, and I knew Little E.T. Came close to him in the Arkansas Derby, so I figured I'll reverse my picks, and at least I'll have a better chance at winning.
All right, thank you. You know, I saw big-time Charlie Morrow shaking his head. I remember last year, he came up here to get an award. He picked Strike the Goal, but he bet on somebody else. And it was just the opposite. This year, you picked somebody else, but you bet on Lily T. Well, at least you get the money. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome with me the Fairgrounds leading trainer for the second year in a row, Mr. Tom Amos. Thank you, Tom.
I'll keep it brief. You know, Rick mentioned the trainer of Casual Eyes has turned down quite a lot of money for her horse, and I watched the Derby telecast, and they brought that out. And in it she said, you can't buy a dream, and I would never sell a dream. There's a lot to be said in that statement, and anybody that's been a part of the Derby, although I haven't, I know Diane has out there, knows exactly what that means. So perhaps there's some things that are more important than money, and maybe in that case that's one of them. As I was driving in today through the front gate, as I usually do at the beginning of every season, so many memories go through my head about the fairgrounds. I grew up here in New Orleans, and from the time I was 12, I was coming out here